5 games, and it became apparent this team had a shot to be the greatest of all time. Scottie Pippen teaming with Jordan to give the Bulls 2 NBA superstars, and the supporting cast members filled in their roles perfectly. On the night of Tuesday, April 16th, the Bulls did in fact become the greatest team of all time.
There it is. 70 has become a reality for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, it is hard to believe. I mean, it's been a great and special regular season, but, we're glad it's over.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
The Bulls would wind up the regular season with 72 wins, then breeze through the playoffs. Miami was first in 3. Then a bruising series against the Knicks that lasted 5 games. An injured Orlando team bit the dust in 4. And the Bulls then took care of Seattle to win their 4th championship in the Michael Jordan era.
This goes right up there to having my kids. My kids are the most important things to me, my wife, my family. But next to them, this is going to mean a lot to me because of what it symbolizes, which is my father on Father's Day. It means it means a big deal to me.
And so a great season for the Chicago Bulls. Of course, now we have to see if Michael Jordan returns, and also Phil Jackson and Dennis Rodman. Word is they all 3 will return, so we'll hope to have another one of these next year. Let's pan a little bit over here and see the media contingent gathered here for this big ceremony. The place I mentioned is packed with media. The Bulls about to arrive here shortly. Of course, complete coverage coming up. The stage is set. The celebration about to begin. And best of all, the sunshine is now out here at Grant Park.
It all starts with you, Rich.
That's right, just in time. Thanks, Rich. We'll have to check in with Tom Skilling a little bit later to see if the showers are going to hold off. But right now, if you haven't headed to Grant Park and you want to go, you're probably wondering what the drive is going to be like.
Right, a busy morning for Robin Baumgarten. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning,
Again.
Larry and Sonia. You might be surprised at sunny forecast if you're trying to make a late
NBA,
bet.
that one player has won the regular season most valuable player, All-Star most valuable player, and NBA Finals. A tremendous accomplishment by Michael Jordan.
And now, the questions in terms of contract signing involving Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, on the other side of the ledger, George Karl of the Seattle Sonics. We will have...
Happened, Tom. As soon as Rich King got out there, I knew the sun would shine.
Isn't it the truth? Do you think the powers that be are looking down on us with good graces? You got to see the hole in the satellite picture right over us. We're in great shape, I think, for the rally.
Jackie?
Hi there, Sonia and Larry. I am at what I have affectionately dubbed Mudville. You wonder why? Take a look. I am surrounded by mud, and actually there are a few brave souls that are sticking their feet in the mud. Looking for mud packs, I guess. But, about an hour ago, this whole area was empty. I really was wondering if the fans were going to come out, but now, as you can see, it is filled. Now, this is a very good position right here. You would think way in the back you wouldn't be able to see anything. Well, take a look over here. We have got the Jumbotron. So basically, we have a front seat view of what's going to happen on stage because of the Jumbotron. And look over there a little bit. We see you, Allison and Dan, amongst the crowd. So I'm quite happy being right there in the back, and I think all the fans are because, again, they get to look at the Jumbotron and get to see when the Bulls come on stage without having to jump over one. But got to be real careful. I'm on cement. There's the mud. We're not far away. There we go. There's some more brave souls. Let me introduce you to a couple of crazy fans. Put your hat on. Oh, her hat. The balloon popped. We got another one. What grade are you in? Ninth grade. Who's your favorite player?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Who's your favorite player?
Rodman.
Rodman, of course. Okay, one other crazy fan. Gee, this isn't an advertisement, is it?
No, it's a lifestyle. Play hard and sweat it out, and you become winners just like the Bulls.
What is your name?
Oh, the Guru, Jackie-san. Pleasure to sweat it out with you, one of sexiest people in Chicago. Sweat it out.
Ah, yes, but he said he's going to use this as an umbrella. So far, we haven't needed it yet. There we go. All right. here we are in Mudville, USA. Back to you.
You don't think he works for Gatorade, do you?
Not at all.
No.
Thanks, Jackie. Or maybe we should call her.
Welcome back, everybody. You're looking at an overhead shot now from Chopper 9, the best seat in the house.
That is unbelievable. Look at all the people. Crowd estimates were I think had planned for 150,000 to come,
Right.
and I'm no good at these estimates, so we'll wait on the official one, but a lot of people, let's say that, and you can tell, Jackie was talking about Mudville,
Right.
Those are the pockets that you see there. People obviously deciding they're not going to stand in the mud, they're standing a little bit further back, but
Thank goodness for the Jumbotron.
no kidding, they will
Yeah.
need the big screen because I bet the view at the end of the park just isn't quite that good.
Right.
But you have a nice seat if you're right in front of your TV.
Play and brutality. But there was an unlikely hero of Game 6. Despite sore knees, Ron Harper insisted on starting. Playing with pain, he hurt the Sonics with three-pointers and tough defense. In the end, his teammates called him the spark that ignited the Bulls to clinch their 4th NBA title.
This is what kids dream about.
Got to give credit to Seattle. They held us off a couple games and made us earn this victory, and it was sweet because of that.
As sweet as a Rodman worm pop. Despite the anticipation all season, the Bulls always maintain their game faces. But in the end, their smiles said more than any soundbite.
We're in the final second. The Chicago Bulls have won.
As time expires, a dream is fulfilled, especially for Michael Jordan. For him, it closes a chapter of NBA history. And on Father's Day, it concludes a chapter of his own personal life.
I can't even put it in words. On Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching. To my wife, to my kids, to my mother, my brothers and sisters. This is for Daddy. I'm very happy for him.
Jordan and Pippen will soon sport their 4th rings. Some of the supporting cast looks forward to their 1st.
Go on this finger right here. I go 4 more.
You can never have enough rings, and although there aren't enough to go around for all these folks, they're not forgotten.
I think our crowd today really made a difference for us. They really gave us the lift that we needed.
Now all they need is a snappy slogan for next season that includes the number 5.
Who wants to go through this again? Anybody want to raise their hand?
Of course, we don't. Yeah. All right, everyone, it's almost time. You can almost feel the excitement. For Bulls fans, I'm sure it hasn't been at this pitch since the buzzer sounded on Sunday. But the crowd anxiously awaits the team, and that's your view from Chopper 9 right now. And we understand the bus is still in transit.
Hey, Sonia, Larry, thank you very much, and welcome again to Grant Park here in Chicago. Allison Payne, hundreds of thousands of people now. I think we may get close to 200,000 before it's over with. Grant Park filling up. Wayne Larrabee with us, too. And as you know, Wayne didn't get to do the playoff game. WGN, just regular season stuff. So this is the makeup game for you, pal.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with both you and Allison.
Tell you what, I told Dan, it's always great to work with him, but especially under these circumstances. The fans with all kinds of signs today, but the one that really got my attention, the one that said Dennis Rodman for president.
I don't know if I'd go quite that far. We may have to wait till the year 2000 for that campaign anyway. Right now, we want to take a quick spin around the old ballpark here and show you exactly where you'll be watching all the coverage from this morning on WGN. We'll start with the center field camera. This is the one right in the middle of the action that'll be bringing you all the stage ceremonies that'll be going on, the player interviews and everything else. So keep an eye on that one. We also have a camera stationed right next to us. This is our point of view, just kinked a little bit to the southeast from the band shell itself. And you know we're going to get a lot closer than that before the morning's over with. We are also stationed right down in the camera pit right in front of the stage. And boy, those people who've been there for, some of them for more than a day now, have the greatest view of everything that's going on down front. And for a different angle of the band shell, this is our backstage camera. That's the door through which the Bulls will walk and make this short stroll through the crowd. Steve Shanwall of the Bulls already here, and then out into the daylight and to a thunderous ovation, no question, from the crowd that, as we said, has been gathering since, well, for a couple of days now, and they're ready to rock. We also have this camera angle for you this morning, the helicopter shot, and as you can see, the chopper now just to the west of Grant Park and really filling in nicely. The seating area there in the right-hand portion of the screen, and then a camera mounted right on top of the band shell itself. This is the Bulls' perspective of what's going on this morning. Absolutely terrific, and we're certainly looking forward to it. It should all begin in just about 15 minutes or so. Well, you've met all of us. Now let's meet the rest of our crew out in the field. Our rookies of the year this year on WGN Sports, Bill Weir and Terry Armour right now. Take it away, boys.
That's right, Dan. We are the last line of defense between the Bulls and a lot of love in this room. We're down in the pits. We're going to be talking about the season. Our Bulls Insider on Bullseye all year. I guess this is the culmination of a lot of hard work at both ends.
Yeah, I'm standing here, and I never thought I'd get to this point of the season, and hopefully after the rally is over, I'll be off sometime in August.
Well, we're going to talk about contract situations, all that sort of thing coming up. Insider information already. They tell me Dennis Rodman, or Terry found out that Dennis Rodman will be carrying Magical Trophy number 4. Until then, we'll send it over to the fan reporter, Roseanne Taz.
That's right, and I have the perfect spot for it. I'm right in center field. That camera that you mentioned with the wonderful shot of the podium, we're here. We're surrounded by a lot of great fans who have been here when it was raining this morning, and they stayed and they waited, and now the sun is shining, and we're just ready for this celebration to begin. So we'll be checking back with you a little bit later and talking with some of the fans.
Okay, Roseanne, thank you very much. You know, WGN has been your eyes for the Bulls all season long, and today we are your station for the celebration. We'll continue from Grant Park right after these messages.
Destiny shall be back here for the fourth time.
It's been a season-long celebration of basketball excellence here in Chicago, and today the city gets its chance to honor the 4-time world champion. Good morning again, everybody, along with Allison Payne and Wayne Larrabee, Dan Rowan here at Grant Park in Chicago. Welcome to WGN's coverage of the celebration honoring the Bulls' 4th World Championship this year. And Allison Payne, what do we have in store for us today?
Got a great program today. We're going to see the Dancing Rodmans. I've always wanted to
Wayne, I know you love those.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess we're going to see a lot of different hair colors there. The Lovables, of course, Benny the Bull. We'll hear from Michelle Bell from Showboat. She'll sing the national anthem. And then, of course, Johnny Red Kerr, our favorite on WGN. He will make the introductions of all of the players and the coaches, and we'll hear from some of the players. So it's really going to be a great program. It's going to be worth the wait for all of these people here today.
And, of course, this is just the tip-off of WGN Sports Day. We've got the Bulls rally beginning in just a few minutes, officially anyway, and then a double dip. The Cubs and Dodgers will make up the rain out from last night and then play the regular game at 12:30, followed by the White Sox and Angels tonight at 9. we've got a busy day on Channel 9, and this is the hardest.
Allison off?
She's got the 8 to 9 slot tonight.
Oh, okay.
This is the hardest working man in show business today. He's got the doubleheader right after the rally.
Yeah, we've got a doubleheader thanks to last night's rainout, but that'll be fun up at Wrigley Field, and then the White Sox to cap off the day. Following WGN News, I'm sure, this evening, right?
You know, it's just such an incredible season when I think about it. 72-10, and I'm just wondering the thoughts from both of you. I mean, did both of you think that we'd make it to this point?
You know, I don't want to sound like a braggart or anything, but I was called at home by a Toronto sports talk station the day Rodman was sent to Chicago, and I told him, I said, you know, this team has a chance to win 70 games. When I thought about that comment a couple of minutes after I made it, I wasn't so sure it was the right thing to say, but 72 victories, and then when you throw in the playoffs, Wayne, 87 out of 100 they've won, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
It really is, and obviously they have to be considered one of the great teams of all time, if not the greatest team of all time. The thing about it is, what was amazing to me was how quickly this team came together. We all felt it would take till about February before they really hit stride, but this team seemed to, at least on the floor, have a chemistry about it almost as early as November, and they were able to get through any kind of a number of little situations, melding new people into the mix, which is not easy for the Bulls. They run a very set offensive and defensive system, so they were able to put things together and put things together quickly. But I think the most amazing thing to me was the way the personalities converged together. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. You've got three very distinct and different people who had been on opposite ends of the spectrum. Each one of them at one time or another in their careers, they came together with one common purpose, and it was from the word go.
Well, I think Michael Jordan even called it a fluke, the way this team gelled, you know, the way it did. And Scottie Pippen even said it was difficult. It was rocky getting used to Dennis Rodman and his style, but it certainly worked for them this year.
Yeah, Rodman was the real wild card in the whole deal. Dennis, of course, was injured early in the season, too, and that made his acceptance into the group all the more difficult. But the transition was made, and we all know what happened. And right now, let's take a look back at some of the special moments from the regular season, 1995-96.
Runs over Luke. Big basket by Scott, but I want to tell you, the Bulls are getting a hosing here tonight.
Tip in the lane. Scotty comes over to double team.
Two guys blocked it. Shrimp right there. The Bulls will drop their second in a row.
Ewing's pass picked off by Kukoc, and here is Jordan. Scotty with Michael and Tony. The true dream team in Chicago throws down. Look for the hesitation. Back to Rodman. There's a three. Oh, nice pass. Dennis.
Again, Michael needs to take his feet.
That may be one of my all-time favorites.
Pippen takes it off the dribble. Dishes back out to Harper, who's hit two of these. Would you believe this?
Pippen from way outside.
Magic comes across to post up with Rodman on him. Magic loves the hook. Kareem taught it to him.
Edwards back tap the rebound to Kerr. The lead for Scottie Pippen. A pirouette. Yes! And a foul! What a shot! Ellis, let's go. That's the dagger. That's the end of the streak.
Down to 6 to go on the shot clock. Michael in the lane. For the Superman out of the closet.
Scottie Pippen inside the arc on the drive against Grant Hill. Rodman is there for the put pass. He got it to tie the game. 0.9 seconds remain. With a spectacular move. Michael Jordan with 44. Michael with a season high 51 here tonight. Gets a screen from Longley. Oh, yes, Turner. Regroups. And then fires.
And Ted Bernard.
It looked like he headbutted it. And the ball game is over. The Chicago Bulls have won their 41st
right inside to Tony for 3. Oh, man. It is 20-0 in favor of the Bulls. And the ball game is over. The Charlotte Hornets have defeated the Chicago Bulls here at the United Center, 98-97, snapping a 44-game winning streak by the Bulls on their home floor. 70 has become a reality for the Chicago Bulls. 70 wins on the season for the Chicago Bulls.
A quick recap of the regular season. What a regular season it was. And right now, let's go up to the bandshell podium where Mayor's Director of Special Events, Jim Sheehan, is standing by. He was speaking for a moment. I guess whatever he had to say is finished. But there are good friends, the Superfans, back in Chicago again.
And they'll get this crowd worked up as if it needed that, huh?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last time the boys were in town, the slogan was minimum 8 feet, my friend.
Wait, they're dressed like Dennis Rodman.
Oh, you think so?
This is a different look for the Superfans from 3 years ago.
Let's listen in.
We're back. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Sorry, it's good.
All right, let's clear a couple of things up here. There's been a lot of nonsense about the Bulls being the greatest basketball team of all time. Please. Now, hold on. We all know that is absolute crap, okay? The Bulls are the greatest sports team of all time. The Bulls are the greatest assemblage of 12 men anywhere of all time. That's right. They kicked the last supper's booty, my friend. All right. Now we have a special message for the so-called Olympic Committee in Atlanta. Yeah. You may as well hold the Olympics in Chicago because the Dream Team plays on Madison Avenue right here. Go, girl! Go, girl! Who are the better teams? Who are the better teams? The 72 Lakers? Come on. The 87 Celtics with what, Bill Walton? Come on. Jordan and Bugs Bunny could have beat those guys. The only team that could have given us trouble, the only team, is the 1985 Chicago Bears. That's it. You got Ditka, you got Peyton, you know, the fridge would have just sat on Pippen. It would have gone 7 games, my friend. All right, hey, what? You guys, you can't get past our look? Deal with it, my friend. You like the look? Well, let's... We are just comfortable with our sexuality, my friend. Look, what we're trying to show here, it just shows that we can wear the occasional sequined halter top, we can wear the occasional nightie, and we can still kick New York's ass.
I've never heard it put better, Wayne.
Not at all. My goodness.
Our feminine side, you know what I mean? Everybody has one, right? Except for Ditka. Except for the crowd, right. New York sucks.
Isn't it amazing how this community, this city embraced Rodman from the word go from the first preseason game in October into the United Center?
Crazy about Rodman.
They can stick that in their crack pipe and smoke it. Now, I've thought about kissing men many times. Of course, we've all thought about kissing men. I kissed the Bulls. Yeah, well, I'd slip Jordan the tongue. book. It's all in this book, my friends. Oh my, that boy is fine.
Go girl, yeah. All right, now our final point. A few years ago, we guaranteed what we called a minimum 8-piece.
There it is. Okay. Now, before you say we were wrong, consider the fact, and we all know it's true, the last 2 years did not count, my friend.
No. I mean, does anyone even remember who won those years?
Was it Houston, Olajuwon or something?
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Hakeem,
as the boys are speaking to the crowd, you saw the buses approaching Grant Park, so we may be pretty close to on time this morning.
They all met at the Birdo Center this morning and headed on down here. Is that it?
All but Michael. We'll talk more about him in a minute.
You know what I'm saying? So bear with me on tape sheet, okay? Because let's imagine that Michael would have played, okay? That's 1994 championship right there, okay?
Right.
And then?
Yeah, and then you know what? With Horace Benedict Arnold Grant, he would have never left for Penny. So that's 1995.
He never would have left, that loser. But now, so then you take 94 and 95 and you pop on this year's team, and you realize, my friends, that what we are experiencing is a virtual 6-piece, my friends. Get in there. There's one for every championship.
There the bus is making their way. That looks like Michigan Avenue, so they're getting close for now. And that may be, I believe that's where they're going to let them out. They'll make their way over to the stage from there, it appears. Matter of fact, there they are, coming off the bus right now.
Bill Whittington.
So Luke Longley, Judd Bushler in there.
Where did he get that hat? He took it right off Rodman's head, didn't he?
Right out of his closet.
I say we give Jerry a chance. He's innocent till proven cheap. Okay? Give him a chance. Jerry, we're going to help you out with Michael. Here we go, okay? Here's this bucket. We got it from church. You're going to pass it around, all right? There's what, 100,000 people or so here?
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody put in a 20, and that'll cover November for Michael.
There's Dennis Rodman. That is George Wentz' hat.
Okay, before we go, let's bring out our panel view. If the time-honored tradition...
He wants us to put up $20 a piece to keep Jordan.
Sing our annual little ditty in honor of...
Well, let's put in 50 apiece then. What do you think? We need this guy. We don't want him playing baseball again. There's Benny the Bull.
We're going to take it to the playoffs one more time.
This is great stuff.
Imagine Michael would have played.
Assume that Horace would have stayed.
At 2 plus 4, and in the end, that's a virtual 6-piece, my friend.
Miami, here we go.
Oh, I wanted 15 million before the Bulls. That was my warning. Now I'll gladly pay for subway fare. How you doing? I'm Alonzo Warning.
All right, next series, here we go. Oh, we beat the Bulls in overtime. Of course, it was a fix. If we bite and scratch, is that a crime? Not here. We're the New York Knicks. Oh, imagine Michael would have played. Assume that Horace would have stayed. Add 2 plus 4, and in the end, that's a virtual 6-piece, my friend. At this point, a foreigner tried to steal headlines from the Bulls. Here we go.
Oh, I think I'll dance with Donahue for the front page. I must try. I've been better off sleeping with Will Perdue. How you doing? I'm Princess Di.
It's time for some magic. Oh, I think I'm good as Jordan and more consistent in my play. Because every year my team gets swept. I am Penny Hardaway. away.
Little Penny's right, we're number one. We're back to back to back. My ego's bigger than my ass, and that's big. How you doing? I'm Shaq.
Well
All right,
put.
time for Seattle. It ain't gonna be pretty, my friends. I think I'll talk crap with Jordan, because I'm the son of Satan. Now I think I'll crawl back in my hole. It's been real. I'm Gary Payton. Now here's why the Bulls didn't sweep. Here's the only reason.
With primetime Bulls, we got it made, so a sweep we must not see. We better spike their Gatorade. Tune in, we're NBC.
You know that Gatorade was spiked, my friend. Okay, here's our favorite verse, and then we're done. Yada, yada, da, 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 Owski. Owski. Da, 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 da. I'm a moron. Frank Rakowski.
Well, the Superfans, a little made over, but nonetheless, right on target, aren't they?
How can they not throw those feather boas out into the crowd? What a letdown for the people up front.
The Bulls brothers.
Well, the Bulls brothers are coming out, but as you well know, one of them incurred a serious accident at the end of the regular season. Or was that in the playoffs?
That was in the playoffs right before the finals, game one, yeah.
But he had to be here today.
Well, he was practicing his slam dunk, but and I guess missed his landing pad.
You know, for the record, we saw what the Superfans were wearing, and I'm quoting now from the Tribune. This is what Dennis had on last night at his party at Excalibur. A faux leopard skin safari hat, a double strand of pearls, a billowy half-cut white blouse, a see-through silk shirt with a floral print, a studded belt, and a black silk scarf with blue jeans.
What was he doing in my closet, Dan? Where are my pearls?
You know, I'm going to suggest that Steve, Harry, and I dress in drag for Cubs games, at least the day games, you know?
If you could get Harry Jerry to do that. By now, huh?
Yeah, we saw Luke Longley and Bill Wennington and some of the other players. And Wayne, as you know, you can't really experience this until you get out there in front of these people. And when Wennington and Longley and the guys who haven't seen this before jump out there on that stage, they are going to be overwhelmed by what's in front of them.
And knowing Wennington and Kerr as well as I do, they're going to soak it up and love it. I mean, this is just going to be a huge thrill for them, as the championship itself was the other night.
That Steve Kerr is a great guy.
He sure is. They all are, really. It's a wonderful mix of individuals. It really is, the Bulls team. These are some of the acts that, of course, those of you that are able to go to Chicago Stadium and now the United Center see often.
Straight from the Jay Leno show when he was in here in Chicago, a new group, the Dancing Rodmans.
Yes.
Okay, Wayne, get ready.
Here we go. We don't see this at the United Center. We see the original, but not the dancing.
Need the music.
There they are.
Oh, my goodness.
Guess they're waiting for a dramatic moment. Benny the Bull getting the crowd into a chant of Rodman, Rodman. There they go.
Y'all ready for this?
You know what I love, Dan? All this for a former Piston. I had to say it.
You did, and I knew you'd slide that in before the day was over.
I think we can pull that nasty Phil in beer out of retirement.
I knew that was coming too. That was the next shoe to drop. Thanks, but no thanks. I don't think so.
Dennis was doing right before the headbutt on Ted Bernhardt.
Something like that, yeah. Matter of fact, he was. I'm sure that's why they've incorporated it into their act. I saw the Lovables try to do this at the United Center a few weeks ago when they had the multicolored wigs and everything else. They did a great job of dancing this, but these guys, of course, fit the mold.
They're very current, aren't they?
Yes.
Winston.
You know, the one thing that was fun to watch all season is the incredible bench the Bulls have. Starting with Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, Randy Brown. All those guys making a great contribution.
Well, you know, Allison, they were pieces put together, as Jerry Reinsdorf aptly pointed out the other night, just pieces put together from different organizations and not all wanted in other organizations as well.
Here for the Dancing Rodmans. Now, ladies and gentlemen, people that you have seen at every Bulls game, the greatest cheerleaders in the world, the Lovables.
Games, and it became apparent this team had a shot to be the greatest of all time. Scottie Pippen teaming with Jordan to give the Bulls 2 NBA superstars, and the supporting cast members filled in their roles perfectly. On the night of Tuesday, April 16th, the Bulls did in fact become the greatest team of all time.
There it is. 70 has become a reality for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, it is hard to believe. I mean, it's been a great and special regular season, but, you know, we're glad it's over.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
The Bulls would wind up the regular season with 72 wins, then breeze through the playoffs. Miami was first in 3. Then a bruising series against the Knicks that lasted 5 games. An injured Orlando team bit the dust in 4. And the Bulls then took care of Seattle to win their 4th championship in the Michael Jordan era.
This goes right up there to having my kids. My kids are the most important things to me, my wife, my family. But next to them, this is going to mean a lot to me because of what it symbolizes, which is my father on Father's Day. It means it means a big deal to me.
And so a great season for the Chicago Bulls. Of course, now we have to see if Michael Jordan returns, and also Phil Jackson and Dennis Rodman. The word is they all 3 will return, so we'll hope to have another one of these next year. Let's pan a little bit over here and see the media contingent gathered here for this big ceremony. The place I mentioned is packed with media. The Bulls about to arrive here shortly. Of course, complete coverage coming up. The stage is set. The celebration about to begin. The best of all, the sunshine is now out here at Grant Park.
It all starts with you, Rich.
That's right, just in time. Thanks, Rich. And we'll have to check in with Tom Skilling a little bit later to see if the showers are going to hold off. But right now, if you haven't headed to Grant Park and you want to go, you're probably wondering what the drive is going to be like.
Right, a busy morning for Robin Baumgarting. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning,
Again.
Larry and Sonia. You might be surprised a sunny forecast if you're trying to make a late
NBA,
dash.
that one player has won the regular season most valuable player, all-star most valuable player, and NBA Finals. A tremendous accomplishment by Michael Jordan.
And now, the questions in terms of contract signing involving Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman. On the other side of the ledger, George Karl of the Seattle Sonics. We will have...
Happened, Tom. As soon as Rich King got out there, I knew the sun would shine.
You know, isn't it the truth? Do you think the powers that be are looking down on us with good graces? You ought to see the hole in the satellite picture right over us. We're in great shape, I think, for the rally.
Jackie?
Hi there, Sonia and Larry. I am at what I have affectionately dubbed
The way it works in the NBA, one team has one promotional idea that really goes over in their arena, and they're encouraged to share that with other teams. So as you make your way around the league, it's all the same.
Exactly. I remember when we went to Phoenix 3 years ago for the finals, a lot of our people were kind of upset that they had the same theme music for the introduction to their lineups.
They put on a great show at the United Center.
Oh, yes.
Always fun.
There for the Lavables. We now have an original song that we're going to have new group perform for you. Only the Bulls.
I have on my desk back at the office, you guys, I've got 10 cassettes of songs that people had sent to us, and this is the one that the organization embraced and has promoted somewhat. They love this one, and they played this during some of the playoff games at the United Center. You know, if that song sounded just the least bit familiar, The same people who wrote that one, I believe I'm correct about this, wrote the commercial for Gatorade, the Be Like Mike series. And there's a lot of similarity between those two.
Someone that you all know well, the voice of the Chicago Bulls, Mr. Johnny Red Kerr.
Here comes our man, Wayne.
That's right.
Johnny Red.
Favorite.
Okay, this is the 4th championship, but not the last. We want to get it started now. We're going to introduce the national anthem, which will be sung by Tony Award-nominated singer Michelle Bell from Showboat.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Oh, the rocket's red glare, the bomb that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Oh, my goodness. Marvelous. And that Showboat is a, hit show that's been going on for months here in Chicago, hasn't it?
And that was Michelle Bell from Showboat. Beautiful.
Welcome the fans of the World Champion Chicago Bulls. A record-setting season, 72-10. 15 more in the playoffs. 87-13. Unheard of. Unbelievable. A team. T-E-A-M. Talent, experience, attitude, and motivation. The Chicago Bulls. We're going to introduce a couple of the assistant coaches here. Start out. On my left, the new coach of the Dallas. Welcome, Jimmy Clemens. Who hit the three against Phoenix? Jimmy Rogers. for the offensive coordinator, Tex Winter. All right, now let's bring out a guy you hear all the time at the game. He's the stadium announcer. How about it for Ray Clay? Hey, Chicago, who do you want? All right, I need some help with this. We know how to do it. It's been a few years since we've had it. It's and now your world champion, Chicago Bulls. I need some help, so let's wait. Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson.
Well, they brought out the heavy hardware for this one, didn't they?
Yeah, and appropriate. The gentlemen that were carrying the NBA trophies won by this organization. Rodman for this year, Pippen, Jordan, and Phil Jackson.
Rodman carrying a trophy might indicate he might be back next year.
I wouldn't read too much into anything today. But those gentlemen most responsible. Rodman really the last link to making this a great team, the rebounder they needed and they didn't have last spring.
It's not easy to put together a team like this. And they don't have a distinction like this, but if they did, this guy would get Owner of the Year award, Jerry Reinsdorf.
You know, Jerry just can't win.
And a guy that did get an
How
award
could you
here,
boo that
the
guy?
Executive
I don't
of
know.
the Year,
I mean,
Vice
it's
President
amazing.
of Basketball Operations, Jerry Krause.
There were people who doubted this team. There were people who didn't think we could get it done, and it got done. There were people who said it was going to rain today on our parade, but the sun is shining and it doesn't rain on our parade. I want to introduce to you some people who are very valuable and very important people in this organization. Our scouts, one of my assistants, Jim Stack, who did a tremendous job of scouting and has been doing it for the last 8 years. Jimmy? Clarence Gaines Jr., another one of my assistants, an outstanding scout. Clarence has been with us 7 years. Ivica Dukan, who is our head European scout and does a great job all over the world and travels all over the world looking for players to help you people celebrate. 2 people in our office. My left arm, Karen Stack, who's been with us all these 11 years and is so important. Pam McGann, who is not here and who's one of our people in the office. And our medical staff. John Heffron is in surgery right now. Dr. Jeffrey Weinberg, our internist. And 2 other people who don't nearly get enough public acclaim and who do a tremendous job for us, our strength coaches, Al Vermeil and Eric Helen. Thank you.
You're going to hear from your heroes in a minute, but first, a guy that has coached these 4 championships, the Coach of the Year, Phil Jackson.
Thank you. I have one message for you people. This group of 15 players and coaching staff and trainer Chip Schaefer, along with Johnny Ligmanowski, 21 people, put together a community of people who enjoyed and loved each other, and it came forth. The thing that was great about it was that Chicago loved them back. Yeah. That's what community's all about. Remember that, Chicago.
Okay, they've heard from you, now let's hear from them, huh? First guy we're going to bring up is from down under. Starting center, let's hear it. Luke Morley.
I've got no special message, just that you guys have been great all year. Thanks for the opportunity, Chicago. We've got a whole nother party down in Australia, just like this one.
All right. This guy came off the bench all year. He was probably the steadiest player all season. Steve Kerr.
Thank you. You know, after we won the game the other night and we were standing on the stage,
Michael and Scotty were holding up 4 fingers, and I looked at Randy Brown, and we each held up 1, because this was our first. But I want to thank all of you for making it possible, because it was an unbelievable experience. I also want to thank my teammates, my family, and my coaching staff. I'll never forget it. Thank you very much. Hey, they call him the waiter, they call him the Pink Panther, but the 6th Man of the Year award goes to Tony Kukoc.
Dobar dan svima. Strašno mi je drago što sam danas s vama. I know you don't understand, but you gotta learn some Croatian language. I'm happy to be with you, to share these things with you. I love you all.
That was nice.
Short and sweet.
That was nice.
The waiter.
Every team needs a psychiatrist. How would you like to lie down on a couch with the worm, Dennis Rodman?
Look out.
Boy, deafening cheer from the crowd. This is great.
All right, I like to. All right, I'm. Let me say one thing first. I like to. I got to get this out the way first, because I promise this all year long. I like to really thank one individual on this team that has accepted me. He didn't have to, but he gave me warmth and the care and all in the world. I like to say thank you to Scottie Pippen, and I apologize for what happened 5 years ago. And I like to say thank you to all the people that's been a part of this organization for accepting me. And, you know, it's been a wild, fucking crazy ride.
Would you expect any other kind of response from Dennis Rodman? Wow.
Apparently that 7-second delay didn't kick in.
One of the most versatile athletes in the NBA, his 4th championship team, Scottie Pippen.
Scottie's got a great look today, doesn't he?
What's up with the overall?
That's Arkansas stuff right there.
There's not a whole lot that I have to say. I just want to thank the city of Chicago for helping us bring this championship home. And I know for a fact the next season we'll be back.
Sounds like he wants
But
to be on our
I need one
open
thing
next
to
year.
come back with me. In fact, I need 3. I need Phil, Michael, and Dennis. We need them back.
They want to be together, Dan.
The 4 Musketeers.
They want this team together. They're in it together. In cahoots.
In his last 4 complete seasons, he's won the NBA championship. This year, he won the most valuable player in the All-Star game, the regular season, and the NBA Finals. From MJ to MVP, Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you. City of Chicago. I came in here in 1984. Snotty-nosed and didn't know nothing about a big city. Well, when I leave this city, when I leave this earth, there's one thing that I will know is that I've been in a city that truly loved me and I've loved them. One of the reasons I came back to the game of basketball, first of all, I'm sorry I had to leave, but I needed a vacation. But one of the reasons I came back is that I always wanted the city of Chicago to be remembered as the best city in this United States. And I wanted them to be remembered as champions, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4 times. All these gentlemen who have never experienced winning the championship, this is what Chicago is all about. I hope they get the opportunity to try again. I hope Phil is going to get an opportunity to coach again. I hope Dennis gets the opportunity to act crazy again. I hope I get the chance to come back and represent the city of Chicago and my family and bring a 5th title back to Chicago.
On behalf of the people of the city of Chicago, I'd like to present the team members and coaches with championship banners.
Well, Mayor Daley doing the honors. These are the banners that hang from the standards along Michigan Avenue, I believe, and each player and coach and other people in the organization all receiving one of these. That's a great memento. It's been a busy day for Michael Jordan, huh, Allison? He came here directly from the Fairmont Hotel where he received the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player, so clear another little spot in that trophy case for MJ today.
He won it all this year. But it's so great for all these fans to get a chance to see the guys up close, pretty much, and hear from them. And it's hard to get a seat in the United Center.
Well, it's hard to say that you're bonding with 150,000 or more people, but in fact, that's what happens each year when they do this rally.
So that's why Michael Jordan came separately.
Yeah, he was busy getting his award.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Michael Jordan, most valuable player of the series in each of the Bulls title runs.
In the NBA Finals, I believe he was. I believe he was in the NBA Finals, yes. The last time they won the championship, it was Charles Barkley who won the MVP award for the season. Yes, for the Phoenix Suns, but Michael
got it for the
one-upped him in the championship. Exactly. And, you know, kind of appropriate. I don't know how many people realize this, but if you were to talk to any of Scottie Pippen's teammates over the years, they will tell you that he is the best of teammates that you could possibly have, more so than any other player. And I think the statement made by Dennis Rodman here very significant. And I think Scottie Pippen's commitment to teammate, I mean, you know, being able to bury the hatchet with Rodman was very significant. It was subtle, it was quiet, it was behind the scenes. It happened in November, but the fact that it happened may very well have led to us being here this morning. He is a great teammate, and even when he went through that 1.8 seconds thing against the Knicks 2 years ago, 3 years ago now in the playoffs, even when that happened, his teammates, once they straightened that out of the locker room, minutes after that ball game against the Knicks, everything was cool again, and Scottie Pippen continued to be a great teammate within the team. And that's something people don't understand or realize. Scottie gets a lot of bad raps for things that happen on and off the court, but he is a wonderful teammate, and he is so much a big part of this, the chemistry the Bulls have had over the years.
And he's done a lot of work on his image, on his public image the last year. Hired a PR firm and has spent a lot of time with different charities, so his image is really, I think, starting to turn around.
I think publicly you're right, Allison, but those of us that knew him and those of us, that were around the team quite a bit, always knew that he had a tremendous amount of respect and love within the body of the team.
Well, this relationship between Scottie and Dennis took a while to evolve this year. I think at the beginning of the year, he just as soon as buried the hatchet in Dennis's head. And buried it into the ground. But, Rodman, in his own way, kind of cultivated that.
Well, yeah. I think you're right to an extent, Dan, but if Scottie did not allow for the burying of the hatchet to take place, regardless of where it was going to be, then I think this team would have had some problems gelling together. But, I saw very early in November, at least on the floor, Dan, I think off the floor it may have taken more time, but on the floor, which is most important, they did have somewhat of a chemistry about them. I saw that after the first few preseason games and the first couple of regular season games. These two guys had, at least on the floor, come together, which is most important. And then, of course, as you mentioned, off the floor, maybe for a month or two he wanted to bury it in his head.
I read Phil Jackson's book, Sacred Hoops, and a large part of that book is devoted towards how they got past the Pistons. The Pistons were a major obstacle for the Bulls. So really, for them to embrace 3 Pistons on this team, get on with it, and go for this championship accomplishment, it's great.
It's pretty ironic when you think about it, Allison, and the other aspect of it is that, when you get to this level, so much of it is mental, and for a while it did take that mental hurdle to
meditation
over the Pistons.
Bill Weir standing by up on the stage, guys. Let's check in with him. Bill?
Bulls Insider has joined us and has signed a disclaimer, promises to not use any four-letter adjective, much like our friend the Worm. How do you account for the embracing of Pippen up there?
I knew it was something that was building all year, and even when Scottie talked earlier this year about he'd never forgive Dennis, you could tell during the course of the year as they were winning, as they were starting to really get together on the court, that there was a mutual respect there. And you could see Scottie smiling every once in a while. You could tell Scottie really enjoyed having Dennis around.
How about the other guy sitting next to Michael Jordan, Jerry Reinsdorf? A lot of the future of whether or not we'll be back here this time next year rests in his hands. Some boos when he was introduced.
What surprised me the most, I won't even say surprised, but when Jerry Krause got an ovation, that's something that never happened at any of these rallies here. So that really shows that all of the burden right now is on Jerry Reinsdorf to try to sign these 3 guys. And I think Phil can be signed as soon as within the next couple of weeks, because you want to get that out of the way. He can't do anything with Dennis and Michael until July 1st. But I know Dennis can be had for a lot less money than he's asked for. And I think Michael and Jerry Reinsdorf are going to sit down and talk, as Dan Rohn knows. He said that they're going to sit down and talk as friends, not do any negotiating. So I think they're going to get the thing done. I think the whole team will be intact next year.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you on Bullseye this year.
Same here, Bill Weirdo.
It's a term of endearment, I swear. We'll send it back up to the podium.
Okay, Bill and Terry, thank you so very much. And Roseanne Teo is also part of the team out here this afternoon. She's standing by somewhere back in this mosh pit behind us. Roseanne?
Dan, I tell you what, the fans have been going strong this whole time, despite the crowds, despite the heat. They have been just riveted to the entire program. They howled at the Superfans and the Dancing Rodmans, and they went absolutely wild when the Bulls came out. Let's talk to a couple of them. They've been camped out all day. I know this woman came prepared. What's with the red galoshes? Sorry, I can't hear the galoshes. What's with that? They're a true fashion statement. Those today, huh? So where'd you come from?
What?
Where'd you come from today?
Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria. That's a long drive. Thanks for coming and joining the party. I actually might have to cut that short because they can't hear me. They're having such a good time. But it's just a lot of fun out here. And
All right, thanks very much, Dennis and Michael and some of the players starting to skate out. But we are still here, and we'll stay for a few more minutes, returning to Grant Park with much more right after these messages. Allison Payne and Wayne Larrabee as the ceremony honoring the 1996 World Champion Chicago Bulls is coming to a close. The people starting to stream out of Grant Park and leaving a little bit of a mud mess behind them, we might add, out in front of us anyway. But what a great celebration it was. The Bulls win their 4th World Championship, Allison, and you can't have a better atmosphere, I don't think, than you can out here at Grant Park. We were talking about a parade, perhaps, instead of something like this, but everybody comes together in one spot and gets a chance to see these guys. And what 4th time is just as exciting as it was the first time.
And we made it with no rain today. But, I wanted to ask you guys, we talk about all the hype surrounding our Chicago Bulls. Was this the best team ever?
I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I really do. If you were to match them up against the great teams in their primes, the Celtics in the 60s, even the Lakers, you say, well, how will they have handled Wilt? Well, I mean, they would handle Wilt about the same way they handled Shaq,
Right.
The matchups, if you looked at these teams, if you could take the 60s Celtics, the 72 Lakers in their prime, the one team that might have gave them problems, the 86 Celtics had a huge front line that all three were thoroughbreds. That would have been a very tough assignment, but it would have been a great series, and I'm confident the Bulls would have won that series. So I think it was the greatest team of all time for a single season. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it is Tuesday, June 18th, officially declared as WGN Sports Day, as well as what's happening out here in Grant Park. We have a doubleheader baseball coming up at 12:30. That's 2 games at Wrigley Field between the Cubs and Dodgers, and then after an 8 o'clock edition of WGN News, we follow that up with the White Sox and the Angels, live and in color from Anaheim. All that on WGN today, so we are a very busy group on Channel 9 this morning, this afternoon, and again tonight. So more coming up from Grant Park. Stay with us. We'll be back right after these words. The warmth that was generated out here this morning is the Bulls are honored for their 4th World Championship. Dan Roan, Allison Payne, Wayne Larrabee. It's been a lot of fun this morning, you guys.
It's been great. And I wonder, would it even have been possible if Michael Jordan hadn't come back? Thank you, Michael.
I think everybody echoes that. And Wayne, what a great year for you. A chance to do play-by-play with these guys. Get to hang out with them some. I know in some instances it's not so easy on the road with these people, but what a great experience for you.
It's been a tremendous experience over the years. I think of these rallies reflecting the season. I mean, the first championship, it was almost a shock to everybody that they won and dominated the Lakers. The second championship, the Bulls in the middle of their peak years right there, and when beating Portland. And then the third championship, I remember what a grind that was to beat Phoenix and to win that championship, 3rd in a row. No one had done that since the 60s. And then after a 2-year hiatus to come back and win this one. And I think you brought up a good point, Dan. Warmth. That's what I felt this whole season with this group. They were warm to each other. They were a very warm group, and this was the celebration that reflected that here today.
Well, as we get a chance to look at some of the people.
There's that painting, Dan.
That's on your bedroom wall.
Now, Allison, you tell us. Didn't you bring that here?
Handed it off to one of your buddies out in the crowd is what you did. Well, we'll take a look at some of the people that helped make this broadcast possible this morning. And Wayne, if we can get a quick comment about next year. Motivation may be a problem. Even if these guys come back intact next year, will they still have the same drive to do it again?
I think the drive will be there, Dan, but this is a team that has several of its key components on the wrong side of 30, 31 years old, and some surgeries coming up during the offseason. So let's just embellish this one and worry about next year, like about October, maybe.
Have you heard anything about who might have surgery first? Who's first in line? Is it
I believe Ron Harper did not appear here today, and he may be under the knife right now.
All right, Allison and Wayne, thank you very much. This surge toward championships here in Chicago began in adversity. A series and a great rivalry against the Detroit Pistons. But from those seeds of despair came this great outpouring of championship fever here in Chicago. Thanks so much for joining us today. WGN News is next, and we'll see you in just a few minutes back here in Grant Park.
Go
Thanks
Bulls.
for watching, everybody.
naturally, I'm disappointed. I love to be where they are right now, and there's nothing left for us to do actually but to look forward to next year and try to overcome the same situations and take it a little bit further.
Time in getting out of here while the Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Basketball.